want to take a moment to thank everyone who's subscribed and all the views we've gotten over the last few months. Awesome. And for those that aren't subscribed, click the button, man. Just click it. But to get on what we're going to be doing in this episode on Chief Creek, we pulled the C-10, 6.2 C-10 out of the field about 6 months ago. I was finally able to get back down there, get it on the trailer, and get it back up to the shop. So I was back and forth on this project, debating on whether or not I wanted to put some time and some money into it and kind of bring it back to life a little bit and get it running and driving down the road. Well, after a few days of looking over this thing while I was down there, going back and forth, it's been a few days since we brought it back. I think this thing is just too far gone, guys. I'll give you guys a walk around here in just a minute, but there is rust all over this thing. And I just don't, for me, I don't see it worth putting that much time into trying to fix it. I mean, it's got rust everywhere. The doors, the hood's gone, floor pans aren't that bad. Cab corners, the bed's all rusted up. I mean, it's beyond what I want to dive into. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn it into a piece of yard art. So we're gonna get it pulled into the shop. We're gonna see if we can't maybe get the motor running. And then we're gonna pull the motor, roll it back out, put it back on just the steel wheels. So I've got it sitting on a different set of wheels right now. And we're gonna make it a really cool centerpiece out in front of the shop, and it's gonna look awesome. At least I think it will. So without any more yammering, let's get into getting this truck pulled in the shop and see if we can't get it to run. All right, guys, we're gonna walk you around this truck real quick. So this is the hood part I was talking about. This thing is completely, it's gone, guys. So I'd have to find a new hood. Lower fenders are rusted out here and here. I mean, that's a whole new fender there. Windshield's all cracked out. The roof's actually not in terrible shape. Door, you can see where somebody laddered on a nice thick of Bondo at one point. It's creased in again. The lower one's rotted out. I mean, the entire skin it's just gone. Then got our seal, or forgot what you want to call this area right now, but this is all gone. The floor pan's gone. Somebody already did a little patch there. The passenger side door is the same way as the driver's side is, along with the step-in piece. And the cab corners are gone. Both sides, I mean, it's just all the way through. Bedside's gone here. The whole thing is just, it's all loose. I mean, it's all rusted out. I just don't think it's worth me putting the time into. And this is a long bed truck too. It's not as desirable. And then, yep, rear fender's rusted out. Tailgate's got some rust on it, but we've got another plan for this tailgate. We're not gonna leave it on the truck. We're gonna get it pulled off. And this side's got some rust on it, along with a nice big whoopsie here. So we'd have to pull all that out and fix all that rust. This side of the bed is completely rusted out. Well, not completely, but it's got some little pinholes coming through. Cab corners on the passenger side are gone. Another couple whoopsies. Bunch of rust here. And on this fender, and this is the driver's or the passenger side of the hood, it's gone. And then all the way around, and some more rust down here. So, like I said, guys, I don't think that it's worth, at least for me, to try to make this thing roadworthy again. And I am sure that once we got into this thing, that underneath is going to be just as bad as all of this. I just don't see that it's worth it. It's going to look better sitting out in front of the shop, kind of like this. We're going to orient a little bit different area, and we're going to bring in some landscaping all the way around this thing, and it's going to look. So let's get this thing in the shop, see if we can't get it running, yank that motor, get it rolled back out, get these wheels off of it and back on the original Steelies. All right, guys, we got the truck pulled in. We got our remote starter hooked up. We got our battery hooked up. We're gonna see if this thing will even turn over before we waste any of this precious stuff right here. And, well, I'd like to see it running, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. It is what it is. We're not gonna dive into it. All right, well, it does turn over a little bit. I don't know if it's turning over fast enough. That starter might be getting a little weak, but let's throw a little go-go juice down the snout here. Sounding kind of slow on the cranking speed, but I haven't messed with a whole lot of these inline sixes from the 60s, so maybe that's a normal speed. It doesn't sound like it. Yep. I am pretty sure that we just lost that starter. Not that these battery connections are the greatest either, but yeah, I'm getting nothing now. So let's take a look at it real quick, and if you can't figure it out, then we're moving on. Yep, that's it. It's not wanting to do anything else. We're not going to keep diving into it. Like I said, it's just not really worth me putting the time into seeing if it's going to run anyways. These engines aren't super valuable. They're not desirable really at all. But we'll use it. It's not going to go to the scrap heap. We're going to find a way to use it, probably decoratively, but it will go to use. Just not as a running engine probably anymore. Well, let's get to pulling this thing right here and getting it out. As you guys have probably guessed, we're gonna do this pretty down and dirty. It's gonna be ugly, but I don't need to save any of this, so we're gonna be cutting a lot of the stuff out of here and try to keep as most intact as we can. But I'm not gonna pull these off. I'm just gonna cut them, and we're gonna move on. And probably the same goes for a lot of the wiring and stuff like that. We're just gonna snip it and run. This truck will never be back on the road again, and if somebody does decide they want to come out here and offer me some money to pull it out of where it's at, and it's going to be worth my while and it's going to be worth their while at that point to replace every bit of wiring on this thing. Good luck on that one. That whole bushing just fell out of there, luckily enough.
All right. We got a rear end to disconnect. Other than that, we should be good to go. We're probably gonna hit this cross member coming out, but we're gonna try to get around it. If not, we'll cut the damn thing. All this mess underneath here is so rusted beyond belief anyways that yeah. Like right here, look at that. I don't know if you guys see it on the camera or not, but I mean this frame is literally falling apart as I touch it. This truck's toast. Dunzo. That's not the only spot either. I found another spot earlier that's back there behind the tire that's pretty well gone. So it is what it is. Can't save them all, right? But we'll finish getting all this wrapped up. Hopefully we'll be able to, we won't have to cut this, but I foresee us having to pull out the plasma to cut it. But that's some super thick stuff. So I'm hoping we don't have to. Fingers crossed. Because if so, I don't know exactly how we're gonna cut it yet, because I don't think my plasma will cut that thick. But we'll find out. And yeah, we'll have some fun doing it, I guess. All right, guys, because my tripod decided I want to turn my camera off. We've got the drive shaft removed, and we've got the bolts out of the transmission. So we're gonna try to see if we can't do this without having to cut this cross member here, but I don't foresee that happening. We're probably gonna have to cut this out the way the tail of this transmission will drop down far enough to get the motor out, but we will see how this plays out and go from there. But I do believe, other than the 2 bolts holding the motor in at the front, we're good to pull this thing. So we're gonna get those pulled out and hook a chain to this thing, see what we can do.
All right, guys, I got a little bit of change of plans. My shop crane there won't lift this heavy truck, or heavy engine out of this truck. So we're gonna change a bit of plans. We're gonna roll it out of the shop. We're gonna use the tractor to just pick that thing out of there. It's gonna be the easiest way to do it, rather than trying to fight with that to make something work. It's just not worth it to me. We're gonna do it this way, a lot faster, a little more redneck. Alright guys, well we got the motor out of that truck, and we got it placed out where I think it's going to end up being at till the foreseeable future. So we'll give you guys a show of that. We're sitting pretty much right outside of our shop here, just off the left hand side. We're going to catty corner out of that angle, but this is completely temporary at the moment. So what we're going to end up doing is we're going to build a retaining wall, and then we're going to fill this up with dirt, and then it's that way the truck sits level. We're going to come in and actually dig out a nice little pond. This is kind of what we're thinking right now, but you know, things can change. But overall, I think it was a good productive day. I'm ready to call it an afternoon. Alrighty guys, we're back in the shop this morning. We're gonna do some maintenance on the Duramax. We've got a trip coming up here in a few days, and we're gonna need the Duramax and our big trailer. It's gonna be a fun one, so you guys stay tuned for the next video, because not only are we going to pick up another potential project, we're going to take you guys through a walk through Old Car City up in North Georgia. I believe it's touted as Georgia's oldest junkyard. This place is massive. We stopped in a few months back to potentially walk through it, but once we've seen it was 34 acres, we're like, we're going to have to come back to this a different day. We just didn't have that much time that day. But this trip, we're setting aside some time to go walk through it. I'm going to bring you guys with. So back to this truck. We're planning on replacing the front brakes, so pads and rotors, and then the rear is just going to get some rotors. These brake pads, at least up front, have been kind of long overdue, but we've been running them for lack of better terms. We haven't had a whole lot of time, but I've got some time this morning. I want to get this knocked out. So let's get at it. All right, we got our wheel and tire off, so we're gonna start. If we can't clock away here at getting this caliper off, and then after that, the rotor should just slide right off of there. We're gonna find out though, but yeah, she doesn't look as bad as I was thinking she would look. I've been getting some pretty good pulse in the pedal with whenever I've got a heavy load on the back and I got to really clamp down on the brakes. Somebody pulls out in front of me or whatever have you. But it actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it would. But we're going to change it anyways because I got the parts sitting on the shelf. Yeah, those are in there. Wow. Goodness gracious. Yeah, whoever put that on there is a stout man, I'll tell you that. Holy crap. I'm gonna get breaker bar. They definitely did not want that one to come off of there. Wow. Goodness gracious. I mean, I'm all for them being tight, but it's a bit much there on that one. Oh, hush it, rain frog. All right. Set that off to the side real quick. Now, let's go get us a piece of wire. Hang that thing from. Oh yeah, we got all the goodie out of them pads. They were right there on it. There ain't much pad left. Good thing we're swapping them out. And all the goodie off that side. The outer side's a little bit better, but still need to be replaced. Alright. Oh man, GM, why'd you have to do this to me? I had a feeling these were going to be this way, but I was hoping they wouldn't be. These got a little star keeper in them. Right here. So I'm gonna have to go find me a star bit real quick and see if we can't get that out of there, but it's probably. There it goes. Woohoo! Heat for the win. Because it did not want to come out of there prior to that. All right. Nothing like a little bit of fire in your life. That big boy right there comes off. That thing is massive. And I'll go grab the new stuff and we'll slap it on and put it back together. Ooh, look at that pretty thing right there. It better be how much money the stupid things cost. That's all I'm saying. Alright. Should go there. That's spat together. We're gonna spray this down with some brake cleaner real quick, get my handprints off of it, and slap some pads in there. Should be good to go. Come on now. Whew. Made that way more difficult than what it needed to be. Then again, it's like 110 humidity here today, because it's decided that it wants to rain, and to get up to 85 degrees. Yeah, everything's labor. Whew. Like breathing in a swimming pool today. Just about don't work. But we got that put back together. Tighten these up real quick. And we should be making our way to the home stretch here on this side. All right, you guys didn't go anywhere, right? All right, cool. Well, as it turns out, probably not gonna do any rear brakes today, but we did get our passenger side done. Driver side's done. But as I was wrapping that up, came back here to the back to check on our pads and everything else. And it looks like we've got well over 50% of pads in the rear. So not gonna waste our time with that or our money. We're gonna wait to do those another day when they're a little bit lower. But I don't feel like I'm wasting my money. So with that, we're gonna end this video here. We've got a couple of projects coming up, guys. Some small ones, or I guess really big ones. I've got a bunch of metal sitting here. And in the back, I've got to build some gates. Fortunately not for my property, but for my parents. For a fence that I just got done with them, helping them build a few weeks ago. So we'll probably get on that in the next couple of days, get that drawn out, and then hopefully we go into Tennessee. Well, there's no hopefully about it. We're going to Tennessee. But hopefully I'll have those gates done before we go to Tennessee and take you guys along the way. We'll stop at Old Car City. So stay tuned till for the next video, guys. Dang, I can't talk today. Woo! Don't forget, smash that subscribe button. There's a bunch of y'all that are watching these videos that are not subscribed. What are you guys waiting for, man? Hit the freaking button. All right, take it easy, guys. We'll see you next time.